Attention, please. Eastern Airlines Flight 19, now ready for departure.
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Express monorail. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the vacation kingdom of the world.
There's enough land here to hold all the ideas and plans we could possibly imagine. We call it Epcot. Will be our experimental prototype city of tomorrow.
Welcome to another episode of the Retro Disney World Podcast, taking you back to the vacation kingdom of the world, the way it was, and the way it is in your memories.
Welcome, everybody, to a special limited edition episode of the Retro Disney World Podcast. I am JT Cougar, sitting here with one Brian P. Miles. Hello, Brian.
Greetings and salutations. Happy forthcoming Independence Day week.
Yes, we're coming to you in different formats over this summer, just because we wanted to obviously say hello, and we wanted to talk about some updates that are coming out for RetroMagic, which is, we're about 90 or less days away. So we had some, I want to say breaking news, but we had some news, some different things coming up that you might not have seen on the website, or you might not have heard about yet. So we wanted to kind of get you up to speed, tell you some new things. And if you're hearing this, maybe this could be something that you'll only hear here. So that's what we're going to do today.
So we get questions every day in the emails from the hundreds of people who've already bought tickets. And then we also want to bring up to speed some folks who might be on the fence, have some questions. And you know what? We're just going to get right into it.
Yeah.
First question number one, people have asked a lot, will there be a room block at Coronado Springs? And the answer is finally yes. Disney does everything slow and methodical, but we get it done in the end. So we finished all of that paperwork yesterday, and sometime next week, which is the week of June 30th, we should have the link on the website, or the information on the website from our Disney rep that you'll be able to go in there and book your own rooms. The rate is $239 a night, I believe. I'm going to double check that just to make sure that I'm not giving you false information, because I wouldn't want to do that. But
while you're looking, if you're sitting there listening to this and you're thinking, what are we talking about? RetroMagic.net is the website if you want to look it up and, keep up with us and kind of peruse and that sort of thing. But all that info will be on that site.
Yes. Sorry about that. I guess we normally assume we've been talking about it so much, but maybe you're hearing it for the first time. So that is the weekend of the September 26th through 28th at Coronado Springs Resort this year, 2025. And we're going to be there that weekend for 2 days in the ballroom at Coronado, Saturday and Sunday, bringing in various Disney legends, people who have touched Imagineers, people who have touched the parks in some way, and brought many of the things that you love to life in the parks. And they get to tell their stories, and you get to interact with them. And I'll be updating you in a second on some additional guests and some things that we have starting to kind of pan out. But for those of you who have booked, you can always change your Disney reservation. For those of you who haven't booked yet, this will be an opportunity for you to stay at a discount at Disney's Coronado Springs. Now, the rate is available, the event dates, the 26th, 27th, 28th, and then on 3 days on either side of that, it should be available to you. And that, as I said, we'll post that up. It is $239 a night, and those are run-of-the-house rooms. So what that means is no guarantee they can put you anywhere on the property at Coronado. So you don't know which casita you'll be in, or whether you could end up in the tower. You could end up in the building right next to where the convention center is. You could end up in the back of the complex and have to take the bus or a long walk up to the convention room. But that is coming. So for those of you who have inquired about that, that is one bit of exciting news. A second related inquiry we've gotten from people not staying at Coronado, and a lot of our Floridians down there driving for these events. Will there be parking at Coronado? And the reason they're asking that question is, if you remember the last one, we did not have parking at the yacht club because of the impending Gartner conference that takes over down there in late October. And the answer is yes, there will be parking at Coronado for attendees of RetroMagic. They do have a big convention center there, and we are the primary event there right now on Saturday. There is another event in the convention space on Sunday, not on our ballrooms. We'll have those, the whole space the whole time. But here's the big update next. We are serving breakfast on Sunday. So breakfast, you didn't know when you bought your ticket, but yes, the breakfast was very popular last time at the last RetroMagic. So we're bringing it back this time. It costs you no more money for the price of your ticket. Now on Sunday morning, you won't have to worry about where you're going to get your sausage McMuffin with egg before you come in. You won't have to go across the street to the All-Stars and get that in the drive-thru on your way to RetroMagic. We'll have a full breakfast spread out that'll start about an hour before we take the stage. And we don't have all of our times worked out yet, but I'm guessing like 9 to 10:30 or something, breakfast will be served, and we'll probably be on the stage by 10 o'clock that morning. So that is an addition to the value of your ticket, is a full breakfast spread. It'll be like it was last time. Scrambled eggs, Mickey waffles. You love the Mickey waffles, JT.
I do.
Get enough of the
and breakfast. This is a great
bacon, fresh fruit, and coffee. Everybody loves their coffee and hot tea. And you'll get an hour and a half of it there when we kick off the day at Coronado Springs on Sunday. So Sunday breakfast with the community there has now been tacked onto your ticket.
Now, for the people going, I don't know how many are going to listen to this and end up going, but if you do listen during your breakfast hour, you have to keep a close eye on our dear friend Todd, because if you see him being followed by a man with white gloves, that means he secured himself another butler. Last time it was very comical. A random nice employee, cast member, offered to carry his breakfast to the conference room where we had a meeting, and it just looked as though Todd got white glove service over everybody else.
They used to tell you, if you wanted to get upgraded to first class, like wear a suit when you go to fly. You have to look the part. And Todd was in his suit because we were on stage that day. So I think maybe the guys go, this guy must be important. He's in a suit.
Yeah.
Can I help carry that for you?
It was great.
It also might have been because Todd was piling up stuff on top of his plate.
Ordering people around, eating bacon. The guy's cutting his orange.
No, wasn't any of that. So breakfast is added. Parking is there. There's a room rate available. Let's talk a little bit about guests and panel updates. Todd and I had a great chat this week with Disney legend Tony Baxter, who has a lot to say about the Living Seas, which is our keynote address in this one. In this RetroMagic event will be Kim Murphy and Tim Delaney, who were the lead designers on the Living Seas Pavilion, and they will be joined by others who worked on the pavilion with them. We haven't rounded out that panel yet. We're still we have a list of them, but we're working out who's going to be able to make it and everything. But there will be other folks up there too that worked on aspects of the panel. Or of the pavilion. But Tony, I was talking to Tony, who's done Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain and countless other things in the parks, and is responsible for some of our best Journey into Imagination. So there's some of our best favorite stuff in the history of the capital W world. And we said, well, Tony, what do you want to talk about? And we kind of bandied back and forth about what his session on stage would be. We know that he wants to talk about the Living Seas Pavilion, the work he did on it before Kim and Tim took it over and actually designed what was built. So one of our most popular segments, JT, if you remember a couple years ago, was when you did Ask Me Anything with Bob Gurr.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be doing a variation of Ask Me Anything with Tony Baxter. So Tony Baxter will be up there on stage answering questions that are submitted ahead of time to us here at RetroWDW. So
do I get to be on stage with him? Is that
listen, buddy, if you want to be on stage with him, you can be on stage with him.
Wow. Okay. That's cool.
And the reason we're going to take the questions beforehand is because Tony's big on visual aids. So we want him to, if you have a question, you have something you want answered, you can email podcast@RetroWDW.com. You can call and leave a recorded phone message for us. And the telephone number for that is 978-71-RETRO. And you can call us on the telephone and leave a message of the question you might have for Tony Baxter. We might even play your call on the stage.
Yeah.
And then Tony can answer it, just like they used to do in the old talk shows in the 90s. Go ahead, call Larry King. It'll be like Larry King.
Yeah.
Go ahead, caller. Ed from the San Francisco's on the line.
I'd prefer the call. I will say if you make the call and you send us your audio, there's a better chance your question will get answered than if you email. Now, there's no guarantee on anything, but we get maybe one phone call every 3-4 months tops.
Well, a lot of times we forget to mention the number. I have to next time I record an outro bumper, I have to add it. Todd used to always include it in his hellos and goodbyes, and we don't promote it as much anymore. And
and we get those on our email like a recording. So we you get that, and most of us play it right away. So
it's exciting.
Yeah, do the 978-71 retro if you have a Tony Baxter question.
It's never anybody trying to sell us a car warranty.
No, they haven't got a hold of it yet.
So Tony Baxter, Kim Murphy, Tim Delaney. Let me just, before we move on to the big addition to the schedule, run through just kind of the other things that we're going to be doing there. So Living Season, Tony Baxter, Russell Brower coming in to talk about his musicscapes, the Interventions Loop, some of the video game music that he's done, some of the sounds that he's created for the Walt Disney parks. He's a return guest. We're really excited to bring him back. Refer to our last episode, Pumping Up RetroMagic, where Hal talked about all the things he wants to go over with him. The Muppets at Walt Disney World, Paul Osterhout who was the lead on that, will be coming in with others who worked on the pavilion with him. I will tell you, we have been at work attempting to bring in a Muppet puppeteer personality who has not been to Orlando for an event like this. We've been working hard at it. It's hard. These guys that worked with Jim Henson are all, kind of in their 80s now, most of them, and they're not, too keen on travel. But we're working on it. And so we're hoping to round that out with at least one of the actors that was on the screen, in addition to all the folks working to make the Muppet area and the Muppet Vision such a great attraction. We mentioned on the last update that Hasten Zylstra, the historian, will be talking about the connection between the Lake Buena Vista townhomes that were built by Disney or under contract for Disney, originally to create a sort of community, and there were business retreats, and the origins that they have in California and how they connect to Disneyland. So this is all going to be stuff that we're going to learn that isn't out there anywhere.
That's cool.
And attached to that, Fox Nolte, the author and historian who wrote great books on Pirates of the Caribbean and The Haunted Mansion and Walt Disney World Hidden History, I think it's called, which I loved. Fox will be there talking about Disney Springs / Downtown Disney / Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village. And it'll really be Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village and its origins, which are actually also in California. It's based on a real California location. But she's the preeminent authority on, from outside the Disney company on everything that was there. And I have a hunch that a bunch of these folks from our Start Me Up panel, which are opening day cast members, cast leads, might have a thing or two, a memory or two to share about the Lake Buena Vista shopping village. Because Tom Nabby, anytime we bring it up, he starts talking about different stores down there. And I went through the same thing with other RetroMagic guests that we've had that worked there in the 70s and 80s. You just have to kind of mention the village, and they all had favorite stores and favorite restaurants. And they tell you how they furnished their houses with stuff that they ordered through those stores down there, the special craft items that were available. So I'll mention that panel a little bit. Steve Baker is going to be with us. He was supposed to be with us a couple of years ago. He spent 23 years with Disney. He opened the parking lots on opening day, but he was Epcot Center's development director the last 10 years he worked for the company. So he's got a lot. Jim McCaskill, we're excited to have. He was enshrined in an Easter egg inside the Wonders of Life because that pavilion, he was MetLife's, he worked for Disney. He was the chief guy that dealt with MetLife and the corporate sponsor in that pavilion. In fact, I think his last job was Spaceship Earth and Siemens, the relationship with them. So he's going to have some great stories to tell from the early years and from it. Dr. Gloria Hardy, we're excited to have with us. She worked throughout the Magic Kingdom in attractions and eventually did the college program education for 11 years as education and curriculum manager for both Florida and California resorts. She's got a master's degree, a PhD, 42 years she worked at Disney. Martin McCarthy, the merchandising, 50 years in merchandising at Walt Disney World. So from opening day until the 50th anniversary in 2022, he has stories to tell. It's just all that cool merch that we look at and go, oh man, I can't believe they made that. Or, hey, look, they used to make ashtrays and, switchblade combs that had said Walt Disney World on them. This will be the guy to ask about that stuff. And on another day, Tom Nabby's going to bring in a group of guys that opened the monorails with him on opening day in October 1971. I know this is a panel you're interested in, JT.
Yeah, I was going to say that's probably one I'm most excited about, just because that's Tom's like, he's got just stories, and you feel like you hear them all, then he always pulls out another one, and you're back into it again.
So we got Fun for a Penny, which is going to be Fox Nolde asked if she could be added to this panel. And we said, absolutely. But Todd Tuckey of TNT Amusements is coming in, and they're going to talk about the Main Street Arcade. Hal Bowers took a ton of pictures inside there that we have scanned and restored. And they're going to take us through a little bit of, for a lot of you younger folks, it was gone by the time you started going to the parks. But it used to be a full functioning, I won't say turn of the century because they really didn't have, arcades, although Fox is going to tell you the cultural history tidbits of where the Penny Arcade fits into a theme park. And they're going to, Todd will give us a rundown on some of the machines that were in there. These cast iron machines, a few of which still live in the boardwalk and other places around the property, but there was a lot of stuff. There were like baseball games, one of which was in Casey's Corner eventually. That was like I don't want to say a pinball. It was like a metal pinball kind of a thing, but you would play baseball and hit it like a pinball, but it would hit certain things and flip around. Oh, it's a double, it's a triple, so
these mechanical toys, basically.
Yeah, all those old mechanical toys. So that should be a lot of fun for people digging deep. And then we have the one where we're just digging into our own archives, films you haven't seen, photos you haven't seen, stuff that we've kind of put aside. And that was a panel we had titled as Camera Obscura, but that's morphed a bit. So whether Camera Obscura stays on the daytime schedule, I'm not sure, but we have to talk about the biggest addition to the schedule, the biggest plussing, if you will, of RetroMagic. If the bacon and eggs didn't do it for you yet, I think this might put you over the top. JT, tell them what we're doing.
Oh, is this our evening?
This is our evening. This is Saturday evening.
Saturday night. So, normally we'd wrap up. What time are we wrapping up the big show?
Again, the times aren't firm, but let's say that we run that day 9:30 or 10 in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning until 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Four, we're absolutely stopping. And we're going to give you a 3-hour dinner break.
Go get some dinner, grab a drink, whatever, walk back with it. And you can head back to the conference room or the ballroom because we're going to open it up and we are going to have a in-person live movie night with us and anybody else come in?
Yeah, so we're having our movie nights. If you've ever attended our movie nights, they're a lot of fun. If you've never been to one, they're on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, they're all YouTube live.
You can find our old movie nights where we get on there and there's a live chat. And so this will be a little bit more of a casual evening. You will still have to have your RetroMagic ticket to get in. But anybody holding a RetroMagic ticket is welcome to come back, join us in the ballroom. Yes, we will absolutely have a commercial pre-roll before like we do for our live streams. So there'll probably be about a half an hour or so commercials before as people file in and once the ballroom doors open. And we'll have our movie night where we pull some stuff that we want to share with you from our archives that nobody's seen or may have only been rolled once. And we're not going to be the only ones sharing stuff like that because we're not the only ones that do a movie night. So our friend Disney legend Tony Baxter regularly hosts a movie night for friends and family, and they get a place and he has them over to the house and they set up a screen and all this stuff that he digs out, and others bring some stuff that they have found, Disney obscura things, clips of Walt seeing things he's never seen. Tony did tell us some of the stuff he has, but I don't want to repeat any of it because I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you.
Is he going to bring some stuff?
He is bringing stuff to share with us.
Oh, that's
and
exciting.
Some of the other guests will. So if you've ever just wanted to hang out and have movie night with Tony Baxter
or us
and some of his Imagineering friends or us, this is an addition to the schedule, and it's going to be fun. Todd keeps pushing it, like thinking it's going to run later and later. And I keep reminding him like, hey, we have to wake up in the morning and do this all over again.
We got breakfast coming.
Sunday. We got a breakest coming.
It's not a sleepover, but that's exciting.
And I'm the guy that's like the night owl of the group. But he's just like, oh yeah, we'll go till 10:30 or so. You guys will be the judge of that. There's a point where even on our movie nights, we start to flag at a certain point after a couple of hours. But
that's exciting.
It is exciting. It is exciting. So by the time the schedule's finalized, I would imagine the ballroom doors. I think we're going to plan to open them at 7. Commercial pre-roll will be running, and then I would think by 7:30, 7:45 we'll be up. We'll be up live and have us all there and start introducing movies and films and snippets that we want to share with you, or some stuff we might want to reshare with you.
That's a good reason to stay at the Coronado right there.
It is an excellent reason to stay at the Coronado if you haven't picked your place, or if you book someplace for similar or more money elsewhere, under a Disney reservation, you can cancel and rebook using the group block and the group reservations. And by the way, the reservation cutoff date, all this information will be available when we link it. August 27th will be the last day you can book. So it's a month out. Will be the last day you can book under our group rate for RetroMagic at Coronado. So, but movie night I'm excited about.
That's exciting. Yeah, that's great. So you're telling me the general admission ticket, which currently is $185.
It's not going to change. It's going to stay $185.
That will stay. Preferred seating is $250. That's included.
It's included.
The movie night is included, and for the people that already bought their ticket, right?
That you get admission on Saturday to the daytime events on stage. You get admission to movie night on Saturday night. You get breakfast, a full breakfast on Sunday morning, and then you get a full day of events on Sunday on stage.
And parking.
And free parking if that's your thing. So I got to tell you, I can't do anything to make this a better event for you, but I'm going to try. We're going to work the next couple months. They plus it even more with more guests and more surprises. Oh, I got to mention, Todd and I also did a call this week with Ted Linhart.
Oh, Ted's coming?
Ted, DisneyDocs.net. Ted Linhart's coming. We went over. He's holding stuff up, rare documents and things. Should I bring this? Should I bring that? He's
great.
got a treasure trove of stuff he's bringing down to share with us. An absolute treasure trove of stuff that he's bringing down to share with us. So Ted will be on stage on Saturday morning to tell us what he's brought. Tell him what they've won, Don. He'll be there to kind of tell you the things that he has, and then over the course of the weekend, in our display and archive room, you'll be able to go in and talk to Ted, and he'll be able to show you some of the stuff that he's brought. It's really, really neat, rare Disney documents. And
if you've never seen Ted's stuff, Ted's cool because he's got these, he'll pull out like a big, instruction manual on how something worked and he doesn't just like let you look at it. Like he'll open it, he'll let you leaf through it. Like he's real cool with this stuff for the most part. Just, he doesn't want you to have a drink near it or something, but it's not like when you go view the Constitution or something and it's just like, don't even go near it. He's
right.
really cool with his stuff. So
no, he is. It's and then a lot of the times the binders and things that he has are their origin is from like, oh, this belonged to Card Walker, or this belonged to Walt Disney himself. And he tells you the progeny, is that the word? The progeny of the item. So it's a neat thing. It's a very, very neat thing. And we'll have other, big displays of stuff. In fact, I just sent more stuff down today, that got received in Florida and will be placed into our archive down there for display. And I tucked in there for our friends, Art Miles and his family, the Black Hole pop-up book that was put out in 1979. So he sends me a picture of everything that arrived in the box, and he's got this Black Hole pop-up book. And I said, I actually just pulled that off my shelf and put it in there to balance out the box, like the stuff that was in the box. So I said, that does not need to go into the archive. If you guys don't want it, it's going on the free to a good home table that we're going to have at this event.
That's fun.
And they decided they actually have a whole Black Hole shelf of like little figures and stuff. So they've decided to keep it and give it a good home.
That's awesome.
But maybe he'll bring it and show it to some of you if he asks real nice beforehand.
He will. It's guaranteed now.
Yeah. So if you've not yet, if you're on the fence, if you haven't bought your ticket yet, or if you're thinking like if you bought your ticket and you're thinking of bringing a friend, now's the time to talk them into it.
If you're on the fence and you still have questions, like we love getting the questions because there's some stuff we haven't put on the website yet, or we know that what we assume and maybe you're not sure. Just ask us. Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's it. I mean, we wanted to bring you up to speed on. I'm running through my head now to see if there's anything I've forgotten because every day is Retro Magic Day for me at this point. Once we get into that 100-day run, it's like there's a bit of retro magic to work on every day. So I hope I'm not forgetting to tell you something important. If I have, we'll just record another update.
We're gonna have the big we call it each event something different. Centaurium, the different. We're having the display stuff.
Yes, we'll either have the Centaurium or the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village, or maybe we'll call it Sid Kangas. Yeah, who knows? We'll come up with a name for it.
But if you haven't seen that, you go online, you look at some of our videos. It's anything and everything. Ephemera. We have what are the stuffed animals we just talked about? The plushes from the food rocks.
Yeah, there'll be this kitchen cabaret. We're going to be debuting the several full sets of different sizes of the entire troupe from Kitchen Cabaret, all in one place at one time.
That's never been done before.
I'm sure it's never in the stores when they had them available or anything. But we might even let you stand behind them and take a photo with them.
That's a fun area, and you could spend hours there just looking at stuff and reminiscing, and that is included with your admission as well to view all that stuff. So,
yep. So it should be a great time, and don't miss out. We really want to see everybody there.
All right. Well, if you're interested, you want to take it all in, RetroMagic.net. If you have questions, just drop us a note or a phone call, podcast@RetroWDW.com. And the phone number for Ask Tony Baxter a question, or if you just want to, say hello, 978-71-RETRO. And we'll probably be back with maybe another update between now and then. We do have a movie night we're going to do here on YouTube, and we're going to call it Summer Movie Night. I don't know if we have the date set.
But no, I think it's going to be the end of July, the back end of July. Yeah.
So we'll be on there with some more updates for Retro Magic, the typical fun movie night. So get ready for that. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you're ready to go for that. But our next episode is coming, but we might have a mini one or two before the next full one.
We've got a couple of minis in the hopper there. In fact, we got so much feedback on the Disney Difference episode that we released a couple of weeks ago. So many people have added their things that they noticed or remember fondly that aren't around anymore. That used to be services or experiences offered in Walt Disney World or at the resorts that they wrote to us. They sent us tweets and messages on Facebook and Blue Sky and everywhere else. So we're going to kind of collect all those and share them with folks. And it spurred a few memories on our end too. So there'll be a little mini episode coming where we go over that. So this will be your opportunity before we record that. If you catch this episode in time, send us an email, leave us a phone message. You can write to us in the snail mail, but we probably wouldn't get it in time.
Yeah, definitely not. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We appreciate all your support. Check out all the links, RetroWDW.com, RetroMagic.net, and Brian's going to now tell you all that again. So, Brian, take us out.
Take us out. Follow the Lake Buena Vista Historical Society on most social media platforms at LBV History and on the web at lbvhistory.org. For all things Retro Disney World, including exclusive merchandise and our digital film and image archive, visit us on the web at RetroWDW.com and follow us on major social media platforms at RetroWDW. And follow our hosts, Todd McCartney on X at WDWMS, Hal Bowers on social media at GoAwayGreen, JT Kujar on X at LS1JT, on YouTube at Rubber City Motoring, and on the web at rubbercitymotoring.com. And you can find me on most major social media platforms at Brian P. Miles. Retro Disney World is the monthly podcast of the Lake Buena Vista Historical Society, a nonpartisan, nonprofit, tax-exempt 501c3 organization, and is not affiliated in any way with the Walt Disney Corporation or any of its subsidiary or affiliated entities. All right, let
Sweet.
me- we don't really hate everything, I swear.